School of Astrology on Chiron in the birth chart. So now what is Chiron and where does the name come from? Chiron is a Greek mythological figure, a centaur, as they say, and was called the wisest of all centaurs. The Latin name of Chiron comes from the Greek equivalent Chiron, which means hand. And in astrology, Chiron rules the sign Virgo, and if you look at the symbol of Virgo, represent a hand, right? Chiron was also the son of Kronos, which is the Greek equivalent in Saturn, and the grandson of Uranus. The curious thing here is that Chiron orbits the Sun between Saturn and Uranus, and in the interpretation, he has an effect of somewhere between those two, like very sudden and at times uncomfortable. Chiron was also the foster son of Apollo, who taught him about medicine, herbs, music, archery, hunting, and prophecy. In the astrological interpretation, we find the healing associated with Chiron in the signs with the various types of healing methods. So basically, he knows them all. We'll get into this right after this short intro. Chiron was also tasked to teach Apollo and many other heroes. He was also regarded as a great healer, astrologer, teacher, and oracle. And these are already basically the meanings of the astrological interpretation. We'll get to that in a second. Now the asteroid Chiron that we deal with here, his orbital period is just over 50 years. His aspects and transits appear sharp, out of the blue, but can be similarly supportive in harmonious aspects like the trine and the sextile, like we have it with Saturn. And it can also be out of the blue sudden, like Uranus, and similarly renewing like Uranus. And we would just add the healing component and the learning component that Chiron has. Sometimes healing and learning can also be painful, of course, we all know that, especially when Chiron appears in tangent aspects like a conjunct, opposition, and square. Chiron's meanings in astrology, and now we get to the point of the interpretation. Chiron in the chart would mean he's healing or the healer or teacher and represents how we heal others, what heals us, like what works best when we try to heal ourselves or others try to heal us, and what we need to heal, like which area and field of life would require healing. Now here's Chiron in the chart, Chiron's symbol, and the sign ruled by Chiron is Virgo. Chiron is the second ruler of Virgo. The first one is Mercury. All right, so now let's get into this and let's look at Chiron in the signs. Now we have Chiron here in Aries. Chiron in Aries is associated with healing through energy, through initiative, through being active, all the Aries themes, you recognize that. The Chiron in Aries types tend to have headaches when they're not active enough, especially when they're not active enough. Then we get to Chiron in Taurus. Here we have healing through nature, through flowers especially, through everything earthly beautiful things. And depending on the individual, this can be gardening with flowers or cooking or fashion and styling, like all these types of Taurus themes. Healing can also come here through the right diet, through crafts as a hobby, or through even crafts as a work, or through flower remedy. Then we come to Chiron in Gemini. Here we have healing through conversation, also through humor, through activity, through teaching, through actually being active, flexible, and tolerant. In the physical issues, we can see the throat and the voice as focal points. Chiron in Cancer deals with the healing of emotions through family or through the healing of family issues. So family issues are also worth to investigate, as the same like with commitment issues. What is recommended here is also to investigate healing the inner child. Physical health matters can be taking care of the stomach, with a main focus, for instance, on acidic versus basic condition of the stomach. Then we come to Chiron in Leo. Here we have healing through optimism, generosity, self-love, playing also, through personal will and other Leo themes. All matters of the physical heart would be a point here. And ideal would be sports that improve the endurance and the circulation, and especially everything that improves the function of the heart to work well. When this is taken care of, the Chiron in Leo people can go really, really far. Chiron in Virgo is like basically Chiron is at home here. So here we have healing through helping others, but also, of course, a danger of distracting oneself from one's own issues. What matters here is the right balance between helping others and solving one's own issues. What heals well here is working in farming, and especially in farming vegetables, as opposed to farming flowers with Chiron in Taurus. And everything that has to do with earth as such would be healing, like mud packs or similar. And for the physical matters, everything relating to the large and small intestine, to the lower abdomen, and to digestion would be a focus point here. Then we come to Chiron in Libra. Here we have healing through divine love, through beauty, harmony, and balance. Physically, the focus would be on the kidneys. Drinking enough water, especially clear water, can help here. Chiron in Scorpio would be healing through deep psychology, transformation. Also, martial arts can be extremely healing here, mainly through the deep philosophy that they incorporate also. Then all matters dealing with death and thoughts about death and contemplating on it. And the Chiron in Scorpio also heals through trauma. So something must occur first and then we learn well. Recommended is a very active and regular cardio sports exercise to reduce the cortisol levels that we see here rather high. And this will also help to provide a healthy hormone basis that can easily erode when inactive with these individuals. Sports is recommended at least 5 times a week, 30 minutes minimum. Yes, it sounds much, but in this case, the recommendation would be at that level. This has a very plain reason, actually. The cortisol levels, like basically the stress hormones, can have a tendency to be too high in these cases, and they would be causing anger and frustration and subsequent health issues, and we don't want to go there. What we can also recommend here is to look after the liver and the gallbladder and the sexual and reproductive organs. Acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine can contribute very well to liver detox here. And the healthy hormone balance, especially in men, can be very well maintained with enough sport, especially running and walking would be ideal here. Then we come to Chiron in Sagittarius. Here we have healing through philosophy, through spirituality, through world travel. Like, wow, beautiful, right? Isn't it? And also mind travel, like meditation, for instance. The typical body parts in question and affected here would be the thighs. Then with Chiron in Capricorn, we see healing through stones and mountains. So hiking would be grand. Also healing through science. And so everything that has to do with the classical medicine, like Western medicine and pharmacology, would be doing very well here. Chiron in Capricorn, individuals would take special care about their bones, teeth, and the skin, and also about keeping clear boundaries. Typically, they tend to do this well already, but we should point at it anyway. What heals mainly here is also discipline. Then we see Chiron in Aquarius. Here we have healing through modern, innovative, and alternative treatments, through friends also, and through friendships, and through freedom and detachment. And now for the signs, last but not least, Chiron in Pisces would see healing through homeopathy or through everything given in small dose, through also spirituality or humanitarian engagement, altruism, and through everything spiritual. Everything extremely gentle would work here well. Physical treatment would look at the lymph and the feet. Foot reflexology is said to work miracles there. Pisces Chiron types are often regarded as saviors by others, and they also tend to find healing and peace by selflessly helping others. We also see all kinds of clairvoyance with Pisces Chiron. The relevant clue of what would be the healing remedy can come through inspiration here. If you look at Chiron in the houses, then you compare the findings of Chiron in a sign with the meaning of the house. This gives you a really pretty round picture already. Please also mind and check the aspects, of course. So let's go through the houses. Here we see Chiron in the first house. Here the person would be regarded as a healer by others. And possibly the person would see himself also a healer, at least as a healer of society or contributing to relief. In the second house, healer is about values. So healing would come through a set of stable values. And combined with the meaning of the sign that the house starts in, you get the set of values that apply here. And the third house, Chiron, would be about healing through communication and expression. Chiron in the fourth house would be dealing with healing that comes through family issues, or through releasing and healing family issues, or through generally commitment issues. The fifth house, Chiron, would be about play and entertainment and self-esteem. In the sixth house, there is a general tendency to care about everything revolving about health in general. So there's a lot of doctors and nurses with an affiliation of Chiron in the sixth house or as the ruler of the sixth house. Chiron in the seventh house deals with healing through relationships or healing the approach to relationships. This can lead to a series of breakups until the lesson has been learned. Chiron in the eighth house deals with matters of transformation and death and points at a deep understanding of underlying qualities of every health condition. We see a tendency that natives with Chiron in 8 also tend to be emotional about certain issues and feel kind of overwhelmed by emotion. Generally, critical investigation and everything that goes deep that these individuals can really do well, like for instance also hypnosis and everything that goes to the very root of things, work extremely well here. So stay at it. That's a good thing and you can do it. Also, in the 8th house, we deal with healing through sexuality or healing of sexuality and passion, and also themes that revolve around sleep can be a matter here. If we find Chiron in house number 9, this is a clear urge to broaden the view, to travel the world, interact with different cultures and viewpoints, and to draw on philosophy and spirituality for healing. The 10th house could point at healing through a professional calling, and this would also be that being a healer is the profession in one way or another. In the 11th house, healing can come through friends, children, or associations that we are members at, and also through freedom and innovative methods. In the 12th house, healing comes through retreat, quietness, through disconnecting, through altruistic help, and maybe also through disappearing for a while. Now, okay, let's look at some examples to illustrate the concept. This is always the best because so far we've been through theory and it might help you finding your way around your own chart. But looking at someone else's chart is definitely the best to relate that all what we've heard. So now here we have Charles Mayo of the famous Mayo Clinic. And so we have here someone with a Chiron in Pisces in 10. So the career and the calling would be about being a healer. And the Chiron in Pisces is also regarded as someone like a savior, as seen by his patients. All right. So this is very much spot on here. And he himself would also heal well through very fine and gentle intervention. And the way he heals others would be the same, preferably. You can, of course, find Chiron in the 10th house with people who have totally different professions as well. But watch them wherever they go and wherever they go in. Afterwards, the organization has been healed on some level. And it might be confrontations are solved or betrayal being surfaced, or the overall mood and engagement are improved. In one way or another, these people will heal the organizations, maybe even unknowingly. Here we also see Chiron as the ruler of the 5th house. So with Charles Mayo, the passion that he has, like the 5th house, would be lived in the 10th house with his career. So his passion would be to be a healer, and to have this as a career would be the implementation of what we see in his chart here. So that's kind of like really spot on. Let's look at the next example, and here we have Mr. Barack Obama. And we already heard that Chiron in Pisces would mean the person heals through gentle methods and would be regarded by others as a healer and savior. And especially here now, because Chiron is in the 1st house, the person himself would be regarded as a savior. Here, Chiron rules the 8th house, because the 8th house starts in Virgo, and that would mean that transformation, like the meaning of the 8th house, would be lived in the 1st house, where the ruler of Virgo is placed. And this would mean that the transformation would take place through the person himself. So he personally will make change happen. Now, since the 8th house is also what we receive from others, the native here would of course say that he also receives a lot of healing from others, and that others have contributed to his own development and change considerably. The main interpretation here is that Chiron in the first house will be regarded as a healer and savior by many others, and that this person is interested to heal and to bring about change. And the healing would be about Chiron in the first house, and the change would be about the cure through the ruling of the 8th house. And since we all know Barack Obama, this chart pretty much gets this. So that was it for today, and we hope you find useful content on this channel and in this video, and we appreciate your feedback. Thanks for your comments in advance. Please also comment what interests you. We'll try to cater to the most requested themes first. For our upcoming live stream readings, please comment if you want your chart featured for free and add a field of interest from this video or from another one. No need to post your birthday, time and place here, of course. Now we'll ask you in private. Please subscribe to stay updated with free content every Sunday. And remember to activate notifications to be informed about new content. Thanks so much for your interest and see you again soon on this channel.